for their first win of the season, hosting Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. So let's pull up in the third quarter. Memphis is up 1. Morant drives through the defenders. Look at this unbelievable spin layup. Take a closer look.
And doing my boy Bays, man.
That's Anthony Davis right there.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why he went the other direction. He was like, yeah, let me go that other side.
AD have 4 blocks in this game.
I love it, Ramona. That's AD right there.
Right. So later in the third, Morant, look at this. Splits the double team. Two-handed jam.
I'm telling you,
there.
It's Westbrook. You see it and you see
So the
flashes
ensuing
of
Lakers
Westbrook.
possession, here we go. Carmelo
Bucket.
drains that three. With that bucket, that's where he passed Moses Malone for 9th all-time on the scoring list. So we're still in the third quarter here. The game is tied at 83. Morant spins. Acrobatic. Makes a scoop layup. Gets by Kent Bazemore again. It was a tough night for Baze. He had 27 points in 3 quarters. Memphis up by 3 heading into the fourth. So we have just over a minute left. Lakers are up by 1. Westbrook misses here. Clean up on Io Mello. This is why the crowd loved Carmelo last night. So the Lakers are up by 3. 5.6 seconds left to play.
Baze.
Here we go. Ja Morant goes up to 3. Not quite. Kent Bazemore fouled him.
I told you about that since you were a rookie.
3 free throws. We got 1. He makes it. 2. Hits again. So that's a 40th point of the night.
Oh, here we go.
Comes up with a 3rd. Misses it just off the backboard. It was a tough night. The Lakers win 121 to 118. But it was such a good game. You can see Ja's disappointed in himself there. But here's what Ja tweeted just 11 minutes after the final whistle. Failure builds character, followed by, how are you going to respond?
I love that.
Here was Ja after the game.
I really don't care about, what I've done tonight in this game. I missed the free throw to, tie it. So it's pretty much the only thing on my mind. But I'm pretty sure those guys know at the end of the day that, I'm going to be front line and ready to go to war with them as well.
Obviously, he missed a free throw, but I'm so confident when he steps up to the line there at any point in the game, especially late in the game. He's going to knock down 1 million game winners. He's a highly motivated individual from day one. This is going to continue to push him because it's all about helping his team win. So I know he's going to learn from that, get better, and be ready to go out there and knock those down in the future like he will.
So Morant has been on a tear this season. And when I say tear, this is what I mean. Take a look at the numbers. He had 37 points in the season opener, followed by 28 on Saturday against the Clippers, and a 40-point double-double last night. He's averaging 35 points per game. That is tied with Paul George for the most in the NBA. And, it was an incredible game. So I think we need a breakdown from both teams' perspectives. Do you guys...
Let's go to the board.
Let's get it.
Let's go to the board.
Oh
Let's go to the board. Let's talk about a little Ja.
Oh, sorry.
Let's talk about a little Laker.
A little ashy.
A little ashy. God, my bad.
A little
Listen, it's raining. Listen, it's raining in LA, so it's my fault. I didn't put on lotion. Too much moisture. But I want to talk to you about Ja. What have you seen from him so far in this early point of the season?
Well, we know Ja Morant, he's amazing, with his athleticism and getting to the rim. But how do you get to unlocking that game? You knock down your three-point shot, and I want to give you guys some numbers. Here's some numbers I'm going to hit you with. His first 2 seasons, producer Greg, you gonna let me live? Oh, there. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. 31% from 3 for his first 2 seasons. This season, he's shooting 44% from 3. So knocking down the outside shot, and I love Greg, by the way, y'all, has been able to help him unlock his game, and I'm going to show you exactly why. Let's run the tape. When you see a play like this that's coming up, which is truly impressive, he's dribbling. When you see a guard back up, that means they want to shoot. AD knows that this is the danger zone, the three-point line, and so he pulls up. When a post backs up, they're supposed to make sure that they're supposed to be on the three-point line and defending. But instead, once again, you go under. This is Kent Bazemore. Under a screen.
They're giving it to him.
They're giving it right to him, and he knocks it down. 44% from 3 so far this season, which has been truly impressive, and that unlocks his game. Now he's got you on your heels. He's knocked down some shots. You come out there, and then he attacks, and this is where we get the highlights.
That's when Ja gets to be Ja.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is what has helped him this season so far, his ability to be athletic and aggressive, but he knows in order to unlock his game, he has to knock down the shot. then he attacks, and then we get the highlights. But they did lose, unfortunately.
Yes, but it's about growth. Look, that was a very good Laker team, and we're going to switch sides to the other side of the ball. Now, look, the Lakers have been tweaking their offense a little bit with Westbrook, and look, they're using him in the pick and roll. Now, all these plays don't end great because Anthony Davis bricks this one, but ultimately, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get Anthony Davis at the 5, and then again, they're using Russ here in the screen roll. Look, these are great opportunities. Again, this is a turnover, but those will be cleaned up. Those things will be cleaned up, but that was the difference. They didn't play Rondo last game. That's going to help Westbrook get. Again, here, he's setting screens for AD. This is what I'm trying to show you. Yes, all of these plays didn't play great or didn't end up great, but at the end of the day, you can see the Lakers are starting to figure out how they want to use Russell Westbrook. What's the best way to get him? And then even switching up your lineups. No Rondo for him, no Rondo at all. So basically that means that Russell and Bron are the primary ball handlers, and that's just going to help with their rhythm.
He looked way more comfortable, Russell Westbrook.
Oh, 1,000 times more comfortable out there. I know he still had a ton of turnovers, but ultimately it's like, oh, they're going to figure this out. They're already tweaking their offense.
13 assists last night.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting that chemistry. You know who else looked real comfortable last night, and we touched on it earlier? That was Carmelo Anthony, who passed Moses Malone for 9th all-time in scoring, and he finished with 28 points in 28 minutes. So, Ramona, how did we get to the point that Melo is having this kind of an impact on the Lakers? Because you heard those fans. It is Melo.
I mean, it's amazing to me, having covered him for his entire career in the NBA, to see him in this spot now. Because when he was a free agent, the Lakers really thought that they had a chance at him. New York ended up giving him the no-trade clause, the 5th year, everything they could give him to keep him. But I remember talking to Kobe Bryant at the time, and Kobe was the big recruiter then. I mean, and for Kobe to recruit is saying something.
Yeah.
And I was like, Kobe, can Melo play the way you need him to play to win a championship?
Interesting.
And he said, he did it in college. He won in college. You know it's in there.
Right.
And so now at the end of Melo's career, however many years he has left, it could be this year, next year, another couple years. The way he's going, it looks all right tonight.
Yeah, no, he's got a couple more years, in my opinion, at this high level of like a good contributor. That was the biggest transition for him. Could he transition from being a starter and a superstar in this league, because he was above star, he was a superstar? Could he transition to being a high level role player and be comfortable with that?
You see how quickly he's getting rid of the ball? Like, this isn't Melo out there dribbling for 10 seconds and maybe with a fall away at the end. Like, they find him and he gets rid of it. He gets that shot off.
Yeah, and what I really truly love is that this is going to be the big question for the Lakers. Will all of their veteran players accept the roles that they're in? And I do think that the previous stops for Carmelo, the hiatus, has really indicated, all right, like, I can make the most of the minutes I'm out there. I'm a player that had to deal, post injuries with, coming off the bench at times, knowing that it was better for my team. Again, I played with Nneka and Candace Parker and Chelsea Gray. So I sort of knew, like, okay, if I can provide a boost playing 22 minutes on a minutes restriction, that's the best thing for the team. Carmelo has understood that. Now it's on the rest of the squad to sort of figure out their spot.
And I was talking to one of their coaches, and they said, he really has brought this hunger because he's never won before. A lot of the guys in this team have won before. They try to get back to it, but he's never won before. And that presence has really been a good culture fit for them.
Yeah, and lastly, the thing I'll say is, like, you look at the vets. Rondo was brought in just to be a veteran and a locker room voice. Because of some injuries, he got bumped up. But you don't worry about Rondo not playing. You don't worry about him because he's going to accept his role, and I think that's going to be great for this Laker chemistry in the beginning.
Being a star in your role, that's going to be a key. So next up for the Lakers, they have Tuesday night in San Antonio, and the Grizzlies' next game is Wednesday in Portland on East.
From here, but you're doing what
But
you're supposed to.
Can we celebrate the good before we?
We got a
What's wrong
bad
with you,
cop
Richard?
over here. I mean, what's wrong?
Okay, let me see inside for you.
list is
Let me
long.
see inside for you. Friday night, I'm watching the game with my friend up in Stanford. We were having my 20th reunion. Oh my God!
Oh,
20th reunion, right?
one Stanford reunion.
She got 4
weekend.
kids. Everybody's falling asleep on the couch. Steph Curry gets going.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Wake up! Did you see Steph Curry against the Clippers? This meant 9 and 9 in the first quarter. 25 points in the quarter. Like, this guy, it was like, wake up off the couch. I don't care how old you are. It's like, it might as well be my 5th reunion the way he was playing. Like, Steph Curry is on one to start this season, and it's really where he picked up from last
Did you wake up off the couch, Richard?
No, I did. I'm not going to lie. Some of these games get a little bit tough when you got 2
I'm just
kids,
making sure.
But, my biggest takeaway is when I look at, the Charlotte Hornets and what Bridges has done.
All three of my teams.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to talk about LaMelo and what he's doing, and rightfully so. But Bridges has made some very, very big jumps. And now if we want to talk about, we're talking about early first few games, maybe most improved could be in the cards for him because he has been shooting the 3 well. The athleticism is off the chart. And when you have a point guard like LaMelo, that only heightens your athleticism because he knows how to get you the ball in the right spot. So he was my most impressive player this weekend.
So he sounds like he would be your MVP for this weekend. So Ramona, who would your MVP for the weekend?
That would be LaMelo. Oh my goodness.
We got
48
two on the
points,
same team.
13 assists, 12 rebounds, 7 steals in those 3 games. Like, I knew he was good, but I didn't know that he was going to be quadruple double.
Well,
and level. I mean,
right.
this guy is. He is not just good right now in terms of scoring, he's leading his team to wins. And they beat the Brooklyn Nets yesterday.
Right, absolutely. And what was interesting was to hear his teammates talk about him after the game, saying maybe LaMelo last year even, he wouldn't have sat down and let some of his teammates take the lead when they got hot like they did in that game. That's another development in his game. Who is your MVP?
But it's great because we have been talking about these two based on the growth that they've had, and mine is Ja Morant.
Yep, there you
Prove
go.
all the haters, Richard. Prove all the haters wrong.
You're always a hater.
He made history, the first Grizzlies player with 40 points and 10 assists in a game, which was awesome. Exploded versus Lakers. Oh, tough to see that missing free throw.
I know.
But what he's been able to do, and I'm sure we're going to dive into that a little bit later, he leads the NBA right now in 35 points per game, right there with Paul George. Talk about most improved. They're going to be some real candidates this year.
Absolutely. And you guys, I mean, you mentioned it. Amazing weekend in LA for the Grizzlies and for Ja Morant. Saturday, he dropped 28 points against the Clippers. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look at that game. LeBron and the Lakers, they were